So what modern games do I like? So the games I like the most are constructed with a core thesis, a core theme in mind, and build everything off that. An example I like to use is Persona 5. I like Persona 5. I played through it 150 hours for the first one, more than 150 hours for Royal. And its core gameplay loop was very, very solid. It had a social management sim, it had an RPG, and they fed back into each other. One half of that was being a phantom thief, the other half of that was being a high school student, and the duality between the two was the core of the game. And everything about the game was constructed around this duality. Everything from the mechanics in battle, to the way the game progressed, to even the game's menu system, which had the same aesthetic that everything else was going for. And there are people out there who don't like Persona 5, and no game's going to be perfect for everyone, but you can really tell the work and effort that went into Persona 5, making it a full cohesive production. Of course, that's a Japanese production, and we should talk more about American productions, because American studios are the ones that do open world games more often than not. So for that, I'll actually say I really liked the new God of War. Once again, it was a game that kept its core thesis in mind, and its core thesis was the relationship between Kratos and his son. It focused entirely on a moment in time, a single quest that Kratos and his son had to go through to evolve as people. And its cinematic touch of being one entire uninterrupted cut really helped add to that. It wasn't perfect, I actually can think of quite a few flaws with the new God of War, but it was enough to make me keep playing and be very invested in the characters. And its combat was fun, its exploration was fun. It didn't bog you down to side quests, and they were basically completely optional. Every step of the game compelled me to get to the next step, which I actually think is a good signifier of the game's quality. And finally, I'm not going to stop talking about this game, Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass is brilliant because it takes all the instincts we've developed from playing so many open-world games and turns them on their head. It takes place in the mind of a child, and it is 80-plus hours long because there are so many interesting side quests you could do. But the thing is, these side quests take place in the dark corners of the mind. So if you start looking around and exploring, you eventually stumble into places that are nightmarish instead of the kind of happy world that the rest of the mind is. And since it works on the rules of the mind, exits and stuff will disappear after you go through them, making you feel stuck and panicked. Like, you'll wander through a forest, follow a forest creature, find a secret exit, and then end up in this skull-covered castle that is about grappling with the idea of death, and eventually have to fight the primordial concept of time itself. It's just brilliant. Everyone should play it. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass.